Hey guys, welcome back to Olson's Garage. So today we're talking power valves, and there aren't a lot of good videos on how power valves work. So I'm going to do my best to explain kind of how they work. Deal with me, I don't know everything, but I'm going to try and work through this a little bit. So in a power valve, this is your main valve, right? This part with the little divot goes to the cylinder side. So this is kind of the breakdown. You have your valve, you have this retainer, you have the springs and these rockers that pivot with this shaft, and there are also these things, these little valves that go in the sides. Actually, they go like this to the inside of the cylinder, and they get held in with these and these screws. We're gonna put this all together in here, and I'll show you guys kind of how it works mechanically. So stay tuned. Okay, so when you're assembling these, I'm going to use a little bit of two-stroke oil. The Dominator two-stroke oil offers, it's this stuff, Dominator two-stroke oil. It offers a lot of like rust protection, and some of the stuff is a little bit on the rusty side. So we're going to use that for our assembly lube for this thing. So what a power valve does is it basically, at your lower RPMs, where you're not using as much air, you don't need all that airflow from this big port here. You probably see it in here actually. Ooh, let's get that in there like that, and then you can see this little valve that we just stuck in raises up and down depending on the engine RPM, and it's controlled by this flyweight and spring right here. Basically, as the flyweight spins faster, it basically has arms that pull out, and they put pressure on this spring, and they mechanically move a shaft that moves all of this stuff here and is able to raise that valve up to make that port bigger and allow a lot more airflow that way. The problem with non-power valve two-strokes is you get a really crappy low end and basically all up end scary power, where these, they're a little bit more controllable. They have like a low RPM area of power band in a sort, and then they have a top end power band, so you're able to have a little bit more of that low end torque by having that smaller port. So we're gonna slam all this stuff together, and then I'll show you once I get it all together kind of how that valve comes up and down. So stay tuned. So another thing to keep in mind when we're working on steel and aluminum parts is that you want to put just a little bit of anti-seize on all your threads so they don't get stuck in the aluminum. Because the way aluminum and steel corrode together, you're basically never getting that stuff back out. We'll make sure we put some anti-seize on these studs too, just in case we ever need to replace them. So pretty much what I was telling you guys, as that flywheel turns, or that flyweight, so you can see in there that power valve is down a little bit. So as the engine RPM goes up, there's a shaft that comes to here and rotates this, and then you can see that power valve going up and down as you increase in engine RPM. And that is essentially how a power valve works. So, if you gained any knowledge from this, and you'd like to see more about anything else we're doing, this has been Olson's Garage. We'll see you guys next time.